Hi, besties. Welcome to the podcast where we're all friends because we love all things Bravo, pop culture, and can't stop talking
Having
about
so much fun.
Okay, good.
Yes.
Bravo should be fun.
I'm Caitlin Marshall, your host here at Besties by Bravo. Allegedly allegations, where we're in a safe space to gossip, share our thoughts and opinions.
That girl's a liar. That girl's a liar.
About the Bravo celebrities, shows, and celebs we love, hate, and
that's when
love
Chef
to
goes,
hate.
Oh, suddenly now you're so religious?
So be cool. Don't be all uncool.
He went on a podcast claiming he had a threesome with two women from the Real Housewives of Beverly Hills.
Immediately, I was like, I wonder if it's Brandy and Carlton.
Because sometimes things may get a little, well, ridiculous.
Oh my God. I'm sorry. There's a spider that is coming down. Hold on.
It's like the Blair Witch Project or something. All you can hear in the background is, oh my God, has anybody seen my ring?
Oh my God.
I don't want to ruin the party or anything.
Have you seen my ring? Oh my God, can you look on the floor for my ring? God, someone's gonna kill me.
Don't mess with me because I will come.
What? Oh.
Feel free to leave that in for whatever entertainment purposes.
I'm so glad you're here to enjoy the fun. So, thank you for joining me on Besties by Bravo. Hi, besties. Thank you for joining me today. Excuse me while I adjust my mic just a little bit here. I'm a little under the weather, traveling. You're lucky if you don't get a little bit of a bug. You know what I'm saying? Well, New York City. I'm going to get into that, tell you some of the behind the scenes stuff that happened. But first, we got to talk some gossip, friends. Did you see, I'm sure you did, that Larsa Pippen and Marcus Jordan broke up? And even People Magazine confirmed this, okay? I'm going to tell you some of the rumors, the nastiness. I've been hearing about it. I hear, and this is alleged, that there may have been some cheating involved, and it was not on Larsa's end. Maybe Marcus had a Raya that he was still active on. Because you remember, I might have been last episode of Miami or the episode before, that Larsa says she and Marcus at the beginning of their relationship, he was still seeing other people and so was she. And it wasn't serious. So literally I didn't care. Uh-huh. Well, it seems like the breakup fully happened on Super Bowl Sunday. Marcus was there watching the Super Bowl with his father. Maybe you've heard of him, Michael Jordan. And they each completely wiped their Instagram accounts of anything involving each other except for traders. So basically anything that was non-promotional. Friends, who gets custody of the Separation Anxiety podcast? What are we going to do? On top of that, I'm hearing Larsa's pretty distraught over it. She was fully all in. She was talking about those eggs she froze with the Kardashians. Wasn't it wild seeing Larsa before she looked like the brand new version of Larsa Pippen, who's never had any plastic surgery? I mean, literally, I would never do anything to my face. Sorry, okay. Yes, you got that plump booty from doing how many squats? Tell me how many it's going to take. I'll do it and we'll see what happens. Sad news for Winter House fans. Looks like it's been quote unquote put on pause. We're going to keep it real here though, because Bravo likes to say paused when it's a canceling, a firing, what have you. But, I feel like Winter House, it ran its course. I feel like the second season was the best one. And, it was fun seeing the mishmash of different cast members from different shows jumping on and seeing them all interact, which, yeah, that's fun. It's kind of like a filmed BravoCon of the ones who like to party the most, right? But I think it looks like it's done. And even Paige, I think Paige DeSorbo accidentally let the cat out of the bag, friends, because she posted to her Instagram stories that she was at New York Fashion Week, which of course Paige would be at, like, New York Fashion Week. I mean, duh. And she was liking this. She was front row, of course, at a fashion show. And there was this fabulous sweater, like lavender sweater combo. And she was like, oh my God, this would be me on Winter House if it hadn't been canceled. So there you go. And plus, People Magazine confirmed it. We've got enough shows on Bravo right now. We've got Southern Hospitality. We've got Vanderpump Valley coming up, which is another part of the news here, my friends. I am hearing that they are really liking what happened on season 1 filming of Vanderpump Valley, and that they're probably going to be greenlit for season 2. I know some people are like, oh my God, we've had enough of Jax and Brittany. But let's just see what happens, because remember, my very unfortunate prediction for Vanderpump Rules is that either 9/10 of this OG cast is going to move on, or it's going to be done for season 12. Where do you think they're going to go? Let's do the math, friends. Vanderpump Valley. So that's all coming up here. Now, this is a rumor, so allegedly, because it hasn't been fully confirmed. We may possibly be getting Portia Williams back on Atlanta, because we know Candy Burris, she let us know on the red carpet at the Grammys. She told Variety she's done. She's not coming back. So that's been confirmed. A lot of things were flying around that she had blindsided Andy and all of that. But on Andy's radio show, Andy Radio, he did say, look, I already knew. I didn't know when she was going to fully come out with the information. And I don't even really think Candy had planned on saying that she wasn't coming back on the Grammys red carpet. I think that she was planning on maybe doing it later, but I think she thought, well, what the hell? I'm already here. Let's just go ahead and do it. And it was a moment. Plus, Candy embodies so much of what the Grammys is. She's an incredibly talented songwriter, incredibly talented voice. So, that was kind of letting us know, hey, this is my space and I'm something besides Housewives. I mean, y'all, we would not have the mega hit No Scrubs without Candy Burris. And my little 7-year-old self would have had nothing to jam into the shower to for hours on end. I would play that TLC Crazy Sexy Cool CD on repeat. All right. I was such a TLC fan, y'all. Oh my God. So, Candy, we love you. I don't think this will be the last we see of her. I mean, she's had so many spinoffs on Bravo. She still has a very good relationship with Andy. Andy speaks very highly of her and says, she is an incredible businesswoman and that she was very good about bouncing off ideas, things that are working, things that are not working. And he said that the network would really listen to Candy. And, you're crazy if you don't listen to her, quite frankly. She's also an incredible entrepreneur. So there's all of that. But my goodness, the casting gods heard me when I said, bring back Portia, and you sure as shit better keep Kenya. Kenya, I love you. This is something. Okay. I've been trying to do my research. I was going to do a TikTok video on it, but this specific cult religion kind of scares the living shit out of me. But hey, I'm live on TikTok and on YouTube. Let's just go ahead and go for it. I don't know if y'all know this, but it is because I can't get confirmation on this. It is rumored that Tom Schwartz and Tom Sandoval's partner, Greg, which we saw plenty of last season, the very disapproving Greg Morris, restaurateur, he may possibly be a Scientologist. Now, where am I going with this? Well, I happened to be perusing Reddit the other day. Maybe it was like Sunday or Monday. And someone said on Reddit, y'all, I don't know if this means anything to you, but my friends and I tried to go into Schwartz and Sandy's on Saturday, this last Saturday, and it was like 6:30 p.m. And someone told them that it was closed down, and they were like, "What? Why is it closed? It's a Saturday, and it's the like early evening. This is when people should be, coming in." And he said it was over the protest. Well, if you don't know where Schwartz and Sandy's is located, they're in quite literally Hollywood. They are directly across from a Church of Scientology branch. Now, I have watched the videos of this over and over and over. Allegedly, Greg's wife, who is also a partner at Schwartz and Sandy's, she's a comedian, she's an actress, Jolene Lentz. It's alleged that she may have been arrested, but not charged, for allegedly, quote unquote, assaulting a protester of the Scientology church. So I've watched the video of this alleged assault. Now, I'm not in the business of defending anyone in that religion, but these protesters were pretty much in everyone's faces. She was like, Jolene was getting out of a car or waiting for an Uber, I guess. And these people are like following her, taking a video saying, does your family know where you are? Now, here's the thing too. When it comes to Scientology, there are different types of members. There's the quote unquote Sea Org members, who are the ones who are going off, and that a lot of times the families don't hear from. I happen to have a family friend who has a very close relative. I don't want to give anything away, so I'm trying to very close, intimate relative that is last I knew, a Sea Org member and was attempting to leave. After, I'm going to say it's probably been 20 years. So, yeah, it's a whole other thing. Now, Jolene was pretty agitated at these people being in her face, saying all these things. And she like bats this woman, her name was like Mindy Willens, her phone down. And immediately Mindy's like, she just assaulted me. Did you see that? She assaulted me. Don't do that. Don't touch people, but also like, don't put a camera in my face saying shit to me, please. At the same time, so this is not me defending Scientology. This is me kind of being like, this was all a little weird. And there were police involved. There's a photo that looks and appears as though it's allegedly Jolene with her hands behind her back getting in or out of a cop car in the back. So this was just kind of a wild, like, side thing, I should say. Because Greg's name is a fairly common name, Greg Morris. So there are a lot of Greg Morrises when you're trying to do the whole Google thing. And it's not as though Scientology's like, here is a list of our members. So I can't say for certain that, yes, they are within the organization, but it's pointing toward that a little bit. I want to say hi to a few people. Hi, Kelly. Hi, Adam. Thank you for joining here on YouTube. My phone's a little farther away. I can't fully see who's here on TikTok. I'm sorry. I will try and say hello to some of you. Now, that's that particular Bravo news. I'm also hearing, which is odd to me, that maybe Joe Bradley might be from Southern Hospitality confirming some sort of hookup with Luann de Lesseps. I still find it weird that everyone was like so on top of their behavior at Watch What Happens Live because, Joe is a very charming, like flirtatious type of person. And he's that way with everyone. And it's not just women. It's the Southern charm thing. So to me, and it was also Luann. Luann's got a Luann, honey. The Countess is going to be the Countess. Told y'all I'm a little under the weather, so my voice is a little off right now. I apologize. But I mean, that's something else that I am hearing in that realm. Now, I want to tell y'all a little bit too about the New York trip because I did get to go to Watch What Happens Live, which was, oh my God, like a dream come true. And I did go see Chicago the Musical starring Ariana. Now, so first I got in like, what was it, like Monday? Tuesday was Watch What Happens Live. Now, if you haven't been, it is a very small audience. I'm going to guess it was like at most 20 people. Okay. And thank God I had been texting with my friend Alyssa Polinsky. She's on Instagram at Stars by Alyssa. You may end up seeing her on a show for a fun little scene coming up here in the next couple of months. I'll have her on the podcast whenever that airs so that she can talk about that too. Don't you worry. But she had been before and she said, "Oh, yeah, you need to have a question prepared for Andy." And I was like, "Oh my God, I gotta have a question prepared for Andy. Oh my God." Yeah, so that's one part of it. Now, the actual clubhouse is kind of small, but I think we all kind of knew that. The guests were Alan Cummings and it was also Darren Criss, and they were going to be airing it, we knew, that Thursday night after Traders, which, by the way, y'all, if you're not watching Traders, I don't know how to explain to you that well, yes, it's like one of those gaming type of shows. It is so funny. I mean, Phaedra is like the queen over there, okay? Go watch it. Larsa, when I don't want to give anything away, but Larsa was Larsa-ing to the fullest. I mean, she was like a Kardashian clone on there, but it's so good. I cannot even explain it to you. Sometimes I'll be at the gym watching it on the treadmill and I have to like cover my mouth to not be that crazy person on the treadmill, like cracking up. You gotta watch it. Maybe at some point I will try and do a little bit of a recap on it. This episode in particular is not a recap. It's kind of a recap of the trip I took and everything like that. Yes, hi Danny. I am back, bestie. So then watch what happens live. You get to ask Andy a question. You're not allowed to film during this portion. And before that, they have a little section that you come up off the elevator, and it's like kind of a mini pre-clubhouse. You get some free drink tickets, and you get to enjoy just, hanging out in there, taking a few photos. And so one of my fellow Bravo besties, Eddie Martinis with Eddie, went with me. And so we were just kind of like, wow, like, can't believe we're here kind of thing. And we got to take the pictures, have a little drink. You're in there for maybe like 20, close to 30 minutes, not quite. And then you go into the clubhouse. Andy comes out pretty shortly after. They have a pretty good, I'm not going to say tight ship, but they know what they're doing, in case you were wondering. But yeah, so you get to ask Andy a question and then they get the show rolling. And really, it's a very intimate experience. You feel kind of like you're a part of the conversation, which was pretty fantastic. It's almost surreal because you're like, I have seen this place 500 million times, but it's like right in front of me. You know what I mean? And of course, I was like trying to make besties with anyone and everyone in there. I was like, oh my God, I love your outfit. I love your jewelry. Oh my God. Like, hi, can you take a picture for me? Thank you so much. Like, it's me. Of course, that's what I'm going to run in and do. Now, the show ran, it's a short show when you take out commercials. So obviously they filmed the show, then they did the after show, which was a lot of fun. Alan Cummings is just like amazing. Okay. I already was a fan, but now I'm like, oh my God, I love you. So we did that whole show. Now I was going to Chicago on Friday and I went to go meet one of my friends that he moved to New York quite a few years ago, actually. I've known him since I was 21 in LA. And this is like one of those friends that we had, like maybe one day we had a bad day. And so we just sat and watched Britney Spears music videos the entire night on my couch and ordered pizza. So, and I hadn't seen him in so long. I go to meet him and I'm like, I need to get a New York bagel while I'm here because if there is nowhere that does a bagel like New York. Anywhere else, it is just a chewy breadstick. I'm so sorry if you own a bagel shop. It's not in New York. I hate to break it to you. Unless you are shipping that water from the East Coast, which I've heard of restaurants doing, it is incredible. And so my friend Justice, he's like, okay, come to this place. We're sitting there talking, and this was on Thursday. You will not believe it. I'm mid-conversation, and I look to my right. Guess who happened to walk into this bagel shop? Ariana and her boyfriend, Daniel. And I'm like, oh, and Justice is like in the middle of a sentence, and I just put my hand on his leg, and I go, oh my God. Oh my God. And he's like, what? Because he doesn't watch Bravo. He's never seen any of it. And I go, do you know who just walked in? He was like, no. I'm like, it's Ariana who is I'm here to see her in Chicago. And he's like, oh my God. And she goes and sits down, and she and Daniel were very cute together. And I'm thinking, like, okay, and let me also be honest, she looked like she was probably exhausted. She has been doing this show like every day. Some days it's 2 a day, and it is a physical show. Let me tell you, if you have not seen Chicago at a theater, it is a very physical show. And I was like, "Oh my God, I can't be like that asshole that comes up and is like, oh, hi, Ariana. Can I get a picture with you right now?" So I was like, I have to go say hello. And I was out of nowhere, I just kind of started getting a little bit nervous. And I'm like swigging my latte as if it's some cocktail that's going to give me a little bit more courage. But he's like, Caitlin, you better go say hi before she gets her bagel and is like trying to eat this giant sandwich. So I was like, all right, okay, here I go. And so I just went over, said hi to her, and I was like, "Hey, I just wanted to tell you I'm actually here to see you in Chicago tomorrow night." And I just said, like, I briefly met you at a Raising Cane's promotion in Los Angeles last year, which was, I believe, in like April or so. And then just left her to her sandwich. She was very sweet. And on her way out, she was like, "Oh, bye. We'll see you tomorrow, what have you." And I was just like, what are the odds, right? So, Chicago on Friday. Zach, if you don't follow Zachary Reality, he is so sweet. He ended up going to Chicago with Eddie and I. And let me tell you, I don't know who, if anyone, I heard that maybe some people were like, oh, we've seen better when it came to Chicago. I'm going to tell you what. Let me explain this. Roxy Hart is actually not an easy character to play because if you don't, as an actor, really ground yourself emotionally, have a good relationship, my actors out there know what I'm talking about, have really good relationship to every character that they are tied to in that production, that their character is. If they don't have the good history that they've built within themselves with the fellow characters, Roxy can come off very cheesy, very vapid, and which she is, but she's not watchable if she doesn't have that. And I am telling you, Ariana had that. She did a wonderful job. Ariana has a fantastic voice. Okay. I'm telling you that right now. I would, and let's just put Scandival aside. I would much rather see a concert with Ariana and a big backup band than Stonk Sandoval. Okay. She did the dancing, fantastic. We happened to be front row, and let me tell you, this cast, they would kind of interact with you. They'd be looking to you, and you really were like you were watching, but you weren't just a bystander. It was really a very good show. It was so entertaining and so fun. They put on just a top-notch production. And there were so many moments that basically, if you were a Bravo fan and especially an Ariana fan, where she shows, Roxy shows, oh, look, I'm in the paper. And something about it, it kind of felt like it was Ariana saying that and showing her excitement at the good things that were happening for her. Like, look, I'm one of Us Weekly's top reality stars of the year, and you felt that in those moments. That's where it was also very grounded for her as that character. And I mean, it was just fantastic. It's such a fun show to see regardless because the songs, even if you maybe didn't see the movie, which, oh my God, you better have at least seen the movie. You've at least heard these songs somewhere. And it was just absolutely fantastic. So we had a wonderful time going there. Then on Saturday, Eddie and I, we were exhausted, okay? It had been like a pretty productive week, So I wanted to go to this restaurant that I had seen on Dumois always puts out this list. And like, well, her list is also like, oh yeah, where you can spot celebrities. It's also a list of just like good places to go eat in New York. And I personally, I'd rather get my recommendation from something like that than Google. So there was a restaurant over, I think it was West Village area. It started with an M. And Eddie and I went and had like the latest brunch known to man. I think we had brunch at like 3 p.m. because your girl got lost on the subway. Yes, one of my worst nightmares came true. I got off or got on the wrong train. And I'm like losing service, furiously texting, being like, oh my God, I don't know what to do. I got on the wrong train. Help, someone help me, someone help me. Got there eventually. We were good. And so on top of this, Eddie, he ran out of his contacts for his prescription. And we're walking around because we were going to film some content after we had just finished up with this brunch. And it was, again, like 5 p.m. And we're just walking and we're just gabbing at each other about something. And we look up for just a second and we pass by this guy with a kid. And suddenly it dawns on me, we had just walked by Andy and Ben, Andy Cohen and little Ben. But, even if we had realized it before, it was them walking towards us, we're not going to stop. When someone's with their kid, you got to leave them alone. Like, got to have some respect. But it was just wild how many Bravo chance sightings we had. But I mean, I looked at Eddie and I was like, was that? And he goes, was that Andy? And I was like, I think it was. And we both just whip our heads around and we were both like, yep, that was him. So, it just really was a lot in this time. I also went and had brunch with Alyssa, who I mentioned, Alyssa Polinsky, who's Stars by Alyssa on Instagram. And like I said, she may be appearing on a show coming up here pretty soon. I don't want to say anything I'm not allowed to say regarding that. But also, back to some of the Bravo news. Did y'all see Tom Sandoval has a new girlfriend who must not have a streaming service or cable or a phone, internet access? She's very beautiful. She's from what I understand, she's a model. And Billy Lee posted to her Instagram story that was like, oh my God, my new favorite couple. And he's of course performing a show and trying to make out with this new girl. And I guess he's saying after one date that he's
Addicted to her, dude.
okay. Yeah. And the irony of Rachel Levis's podcast episode, I think it was this week. I didn't listen to the whole thing, friends. It's so much time in the day and only so much room in this brain. You know what I mean? It was on love bombing and quite the timing there, huh? There was something else I was going to tell y'all that it just slipped my mind because again, I've just been going 90 and nothing. I'm just going to say hi to a few of you again. Hi, Tay Tay. So what was it? See, I'm a little out of it from being a little under the weather. Bear with me. I know that James and Allie are coming to New York. I think they're going to be on Watch What Happens Live this coming week. And oh gosh, what was the other bit of news? I did see that Sheree and Martell broke up, which shocker. Yes, this was it. So Monica, Monica Nikki Garcia, girl, went on the Two Teas in a Pod podcast. And she was pretty forthright about a lot of the things that she'd already said. She stuck to a lot of the same story, except for one thing. Remember how it was believed that Monica had met Jen Shaw through Monica's ex-husband being the handyman? Well, Monica said that she met Jen on Instagram. And she met her because also Monica donates a lot of swaddles to all the local hospitals there in Salt Lake City. And that's how she met Jen. So now I'm a little more confused, but she did, confirm she started working for Jen after they had already wrapped filming season 1, sometime around September of that year, and that she was done working for her by January. Now, she explained further about some of the security camera footage and how they received the videos that they would post on Reality Von Teese. And one of the things was that she said 9/10 of the stuff that they would post on Reality Von Teese that were recordings came from one of their phones in Jen's presence. And she said that they were like, oh my God, no one would believe us. The abuse Jen just hurled at us, that she was doing all of this. do we have proof? And she says that's when they started going over to the security camera footage that was in Monica's name. Now, Tamra did point this out that when Tamra was let go from Orange County, that while in private, Andy told her that she was technically on a pause. He never said that publicly, but he has said about Monica that she is on a pause publicly. And I just want to reiterate this about Monica, that Monica was so interesting and so captivating to watch without the reality Von Teese drama. And I think a lot of people can agree, even if you were hate watching, you couldn't look away, right? Because sometimes she would drive you nuts. Sometimes she would argue like a teenager, but she still was really interesting to watch. Whether you like her or not, honey, it's the truth. So I'm kind of interested to see where we go from here because my friend, y'all know Giorgio, he'll be back with me here on Thursday, back to our usual Bestie Thursdays. He had posted about how the two newbies that, he and I had talked about just very briefly. Well, he put up a post showing that there were some things, like unsavory things that maybe had come out about both of these women. One of them allegedly that they were liking and, commenting very anti-trans, very anti-pro-choice type of, and not only liking but commenting these things and on other posts of people, and that she was deleting them now, but they are, honey, if it's on the internet it's forever. And then the other girl, Brittany, there's allegations allegedly that she has had multiple troll accounts anonymously. So what the hell are y'all gonna do? Because they should be filming like yesterday, right? This is the time they should be filming. So what happens? What do we do? I mean, can we have a good season without Monica? Yeah, but also we had a great season with Monica before reality Von Teese was even a thing. So I think we need to revisit this because yes, we are capable of watching a group of women get along. Okay. That's not what this is about. But also, I want to remind everyone that we don't love people who don't know, but I'm talking to the besties. Y'all know that we don't just love this for the women fighting and that drama. There is drama in that resolution of them getting to a good place with each other. It's a satisfying thing that you can see someone have major issues and then come to a good place. I something that I have yet to watch though, speaking of, because, been a little busy. The Housewife and the Hustler Part 2 came out on Tom Girardi and Erica. Now, let me just say this. I know Erica is very upset that the women weren't like,
Oh my God, you've been exonerated.
bear with me here. The only thing is, Erica, from the previews I've seen of when she sits down with the victims, is she is very unemotional. And she kind of acts like she's on the witness stand during cross-examination, needing to keep her emotions in check. From what I have seen, I would have liked to see her show some emotion, show some sadness for the victims, because there's a moment where they're asking her, well, do you know any of the victims? Do you know anything about us? And they asked her if she had watched Housewife and the Hustler. And she was like,
Yes, I watched Housewife and the Hustler, the first one. I did watch it.
and I mean, it is like blank face. And it's like I don't think anyone wanted Erica to actually be guilty of something and be involved in this absolutely depraved thing that Girardi and Keese did. I don't think any of us wanted that, because I think a lot of us did enjoy Erica up until all of that fallout. So the timing isn't great with how she did say on last week's episode, as they're dumping the ashes of past things, and when Merce in a Purse was released there in Barcelona, basically saying,
All you bitches who didn't believe in me and all the shit you did to me last year, I'm letting it go. Because I'm a showman. That's what I do.
I just don't think the timing was great. uh, so yeah, I would like to see Erica maybe get some. She doesn't need publicity training. She's fantastic in interviews. She needs the publicity training on how to be emotional and go ahead and be vulnerable in times that it would be helpful to her. And I don't think that's something that just comes naturally to her, obviously. State the obvious. So yeah, I just think that I think we're gonna have to I'm gonna have to watch it, and I will talk. I will do my best to watch it before Thursday when I'm recording with Giorgio, which will be either planned for it to be at 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, as opposed to the usual 3:30, just because we will probably be recording his podcast shortly after that, where we will recap Miami, which Miami, I know a lot of people are like, no, Miami's not giving it. Well, I think they put in one more episode than they needed to. Does that make sense to y'all? Because it's like they didn't need to split up some of what was going on the way they did. And I think we just could have kept it shorter and it would have landed a little bit more heavily. Now their looks came out and oh my God, both Larsa and Adriana are like in crowns. I mean, the looks are pretty fab. I'm not going to lie. Miami served their reunion looks in a way that a lot of the Housewives franchises have been falling short in their reunion looks. Like, ladies, remember, you're going to be sitting down for 99% of this. Go ahead and look cute in the standing up picture, but buy the sit down dresses. And honey, Larsa and Adriana were like, not only am I going to be sitting down, I'm going to be as tall as I am standing up with these crowns. I'm not making fun of it. I am, but I also think it's fabulous. It's like they had I don't know, a patron saint off, a madre off, if you will. It was fabulous, but oh my God. Well, my friends, I am going to end here because I'm sure, just as I am ending, some insane breaking Bravo news is going to be coming out. Don't you know? But be sure and tune in live on Thursday when I have Giorgio with me. So I'm resuming the regular schedule again. Y'all had a week off from me, but I'm back. Okay, besties, do me a favor. Follow on Instagram at Besties by Caitlin. Follow on TikTok at Besties by Caitlin. Subscribe to YouTube, please. You'll get the notifications and all of that for when I'm going live. And leave a 5-star review. It's free and it makes my freaking day. I just want you to know that wherever it is you listen. And we will be back to the regular old recaps on Thursday. All right, my friends, I will see you then.